Today's Catholic Mass readings and Gospel reflection. Saturday, November 4, 2023. Saint Charles Borromeo, a bishop. First reading is taken from the book of Romans chapter 11, verses 1 to 2, 11 to 12, 25 to 29. Brothers and sisters, I ask, then, has God rejected his people? Of course not. For I too am a child of Israel, a descendant of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not rejected his people whom he foreknew. Do you not know what the scripture says about Elijah, how he pleads with God against Israel? Hence I ask, did they stumble so as to fall? Of course not. But through their transgression salvation has come to the Gentiles, so as to make them jealous. Now if their transgression is enrichment for the world, and if their diminished number is enrichment for the Gentiles, how much more their full number? I do not want you to be unaware of this mystery, brothers and sisters, so that you will not become wise in your own estimation. A hardening has come upon Israel in part, until the full number of the Gentiles comes in, and thus all Israel will be saved, as it is written. The deliverer will come out of Zion, he will turn away godlessness from Jacob, and this is my covenant with them when I take away their sins. In respect to the gospel, they are enemies on your account, but in respect to election, they are beloved because of the patriarch. For the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable. Responsorial Song. The Lord will not abandon his people. A reading from our Holy Gospel according to St. Luke chapter 14. Verses 1, 7, 11. On a Sabbath Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were serving him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table in the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him. And the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man," and then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place so that when the host comes to you he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Reflection from our Holy Gospel. Take the lowest place. Luke uses the context of the banquet as a kind of parable. It is a custom among the Jews and other people that distinguished guests occupy the prominent seats. Since people recline at banquets, the best couches are reserved for those closest to the host. In a society where honor and shame are paramount, to move down to a lower level in favor of someone of higher status would be shameful. Jesus gives a sound advice. Sit at a lower place, so that the host will invite you to come closer. But this is not a calculated move to gain praise, Rather, this is an invitation to deep humility that is pleasing to God. The person of humble heart and who is poor in spirit will have a seat reserved for him in God's kingdom. The theme from Mary's Magnificat comes to force here. He has thrown down the rulers from their thrones, but lifted up the lowly. Luke chapter 1, verse 52.